Sometimes when you're driving down the road all by yourself, you begin to hear a voice that tells you need to look around, pay attention. Maybe something isn't quite right. That voice is me. It's the voice of Gord. Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Voice of Gord. Quick intro here for you. Bit more of a light-hearted discussion on this one, a little bit shorter. I decided to interview on the advice of Reed Loustalot. Please advise Reed, FreightX legend, who now works for Truck Parking Club, to speak with my next guests because they were recreating a sort of old school truck stop vibe at their Truck Parking Club location. You guys will remember I interviewed Truck Parking Club CEO Evan Shelley here a few months back to discuss problems with truck parking and the sort of free market solution he's bringing forward. And I heard how wonderful my next guests are, Michael and Chasaty Rainer, and their wonderful parking location, which is also a sort of conference and event center and RV park and horse ranch. And, they're trying to do their level best to help out the American long-haul trucker and do things a little more old school. And I'm very happy to bring you their story. This was a great little discussion, and I think what the guys at Booker's Dude Ranch are up to is amazing. And I'm looking forward to catching up with them next year when I go on tour for the book. End of the Road, Inside the War on Truckers. I'm almost done writing it. You can go to my Substack and check that out, autonomoustruckers.substack.com. Follow me on Twitter, @GordMcGill. If you have any commentary about this episode or anything else, feel free to drop me an email, gordylocks@protonmail.com. Go check out Booker's Dude Ranch. Website links and their Instagram will be in the show notes. I think what they're doing is excellent. Michael is a fellow trucker. Chasaty is a nurse. They're a brother and sister team who, like I say, are part of the Truck Parking Club network and trying to bring something good to American truckers in this very trying time here in 2025. All right, let's get to them and hear all about it. All right, g'day everybody. Welcome back to another fantastic episode of the Voice of Gord podcast. I'm Gord, and this is my voice. The other voices you're about to hear today are a brother and sister team who are both involved in the trucking business and were brought to my attention by my friends Reed and Evan and Hunter at Truck Parking Club. And I'm told that they're running kind of a sort of old school truck stop that's not really technically a truck stop. And I want to find out more about what they're doing. So the other voices you're about to hear, please welcome to the show the proprietors of a place called Booker's Dude Ranch, which started out as a horse ranch in the East Texas town of Henderson, but is now something of a conference and an event center and host for wayward truckers on that side of the Lone Star State. Michael and Chasaty, welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks. I'm Chasaty.
Chasaty, sorry.
And I'm Michael, and I appreciate the welcome.
Right, yeah, no, thank you. Been a long time since I've been to Texas. I think I was down there in 2021. Was over in Lubbock, or not Lubbock. Oh, geez, now I'm having a brain fart, and I might have to re-record this. No, it's just southeast of Austin.
Well, San Antonio, maybe?
No, southeast.
Let's see. Let's see. Got Houston and all that close in that area.
It's a small town. It's known for barbecue.
Okay.
Oh, not Elgin. It's another place. I know what you're talking about. See it on Food Network.
Oh yeah, it's
Right,
gonna come
right.
back to me here. I'm very, very embarrassed at forgetting the name of this joint because I had such a good time there. Oh
Yeah,
man,
no problem.
what is this place called? It is driving me insane. You know how you get one of those things where you remember it, it's on the tip of your tongue, and
Heck, yeah.
and you just can't. I'm pulling my hair out here because this
Not
place
Sealy.
Lockhart. There we go.
Lockhart. Okay, okay. There you go. Got it, got it. One of those. That's it. That's it.
Yeah. So I was in Lockhart in 2021. I did some trucking in Texas a long time ago as well. But it's been a little while. East Texas, if memory serves correct, is a little more steamy, a little more covered in forest, a little bit more like the South rather than Texas.
Yeah, we're kind of in the hill country part. It's close to Longview and Tyler. And it's probably about 2 hours from Dallas. So it's mostly hill country. A lot of pine trees. Mostly pine trees. Yeah.
Right. So, well, might as well get into it. Tell me all about Booker's Dude Ranch. So, well, first off, tell us a little about yourselves and your this business venture, Booker's Dude Ranch, and maybe a little bit of a history
Okay.
about the ranch.
Okay. Well, as far as trucking goes, man, I can start all the way from birth, I guess. Before I was born, my dad bought me a blue Freightliner tanker truck that, believe it or not, I still have to this day. That was the first thing I saw, and I think that's kind of what got me into trucks. And man, at 18, I started driving, uh, and like I said, I'm in my 40s now. So, like I said, 20 years ago, trucking was a lot different from what it is now. Like I said, I still drive a long nose Pete manual 13 speed with a Caterpillar. Um,
Based.
that's just what. That's it. Yeah, that's it. C15 kit. That's it. Straight pipe steel proud of it. So it's definitely a lot different. I don't run e-log. I run local now, so it's just just a log book, old school. And got into trucking that way. Uh, Started out with young feed and fertilizer at 18. Man, at that time, I think I was only making about 350 a week driving. About a 5-hour trip from Longview, Texas to Austin, Texas, 5 days a week. And man, it went from there and back. And that was my first start. No AC, no heat, had a hole in the floor for about 350 a week. So man, I definitely started on the rough side of trucking back then, and it's a lot different now.
Well, these experiences build they build character and strength, and they also build gratitude and appreciation for improved material circumstances when they do show
Definitely,
up.
definitely, yes, sir. And things have gotten better on that part. Um, the industry itself, that'd be a whole nother conversation we can get into. But yeah,
Well, tell us, like
yes,
I say, tell us a little bit more about the ranch and how what you and Chasady's relationship to it is and what you all doing down there.
You want me to do this one?
well, I'll give them the basics on it, and then you can take over. We do have it's a 5 acre spot for the ranch, and we use one of those acres for truck parking. Um, And it does have a event facility on it where we do have restrooms. We have the RVs if they need to stay overnight. We do provide that. And Chester, you can come on in and add
Yeah,
some
so
more to it.
it started out, my grandpa bought this piece of land back in the 60s, and it's a total of 125 acres. And he raised Missouri Foxtrotters and Tennessee Walkers back then. So he had a big barn and everything, and it was a horse riding club originally. And it was a little old building that's about the size of what's now the kitchen area there. But that was his dream, was to have a place for his horses to roam and everybody to come bring their horses and everything. So it's a lot of fertile land out there. And he and my grandmother eventually built a bigger building to be an event center, which is how we utilize it today. And it's been in operation since then. And so it's kind of a horse themed area, but then we got all this extra space. So we decided to start using it for truck parking.
Right. And so how did you guys get introduced to Truck Parking Club?
We were actually at a truck show in Houston, and we met one of the, I guess, someone from the team, and they told us about it, and we told them about our truck parking club because before truck parking club, we just had a big sign, a big banner out front that said truck parking, and it was in front of our dude ranch, and so we got a little bit of attention from it, and so we kind of just wanted to expand it, and we met them at the truck show, and they mentioned this app and everything that they had going, and how it insures the drivers and protects us and them, and kind of gets a lot better networking. And so yeah, we just kind of got into it with them and joined up. Sounded good, and we ran with it.
Right. So, yeah, it seems like your guys' location was sort of destined to be part of their network and sort of solve this problem, as I'm sure the TPC guys would have told you with their pitch. There's only one truck parking spot publicly available, be it a truck stop or rest area, for every 11 trucks in America.
Yeah, right.
Apparently, on average, and I imagine this is heavily weighted in the more busier parts of the country, but some drivers take up to 56 minutes at the end of their day to find somewhere to park. And
Right.
here you guys have this available parking, which is sort of the model for their business. Um, what I was interested to hear about, though, is my boy Reed at TPC mentioned that you're offering a number of other amenities and services, and might I say, camaraderie and an old school approach to dealing with your customers. Maybe you could tell us about that.
Yes, sir. Well, we do have the RVs as well. Um, Chastity, when she's here, she will cook breakfast. It's kind of old school, and the environment is just like I said, it's an old horse ranch, so um, it does kind of cater to more of we do have areas for the dogs. A lot of most of the drivers have dogs, so they can let them run. It is fenced in, um, pretty private location. It's about right on the main highway, easy access. Um, and yeah, Chester, did you want to tell them anything about that?
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in. So, yeah, the stuff that we offer is more. We don't want to treat you like a trucker. And people, there's a stigma with an MO, it's just a trucker or something like that. No, you're like family for us. So we're going to, check on your truck. Mike's been driving all these years. So he does his, basically pre-trip, post-trip on your truck, for you. He's going to look at it. If we see something, going wrong, he's going to give you a call. We got people right next door that can come fix anything. If you're feeling unwell, I'm a nurse. I can make sure that, you're okay. Is it your blood pressure, whatever, we can take care of you there. We do holiday dinners for the drivers. So the last two turned out pretty good. A lot of people came, but we'll do Thanksgiving dinner for you. We'll do Christmas dinner just in case you're on the road then. We'll valet park your truck. We get a lot of new drivers. Sometimes they're a little bit nervous about, coming in to park and they don't want to, look like they don't know how to drive. So, hey,
Yeah.
we'll have Mike jump in and park the truck for you.
Yeah.
On that question, you mentioned you get new guys in occasionally. I am genuinely curious about the sort of makeup of the clients that come through, right? Like, because truck parking club is sort of contentious amongst drivers. There's a lot of drivers who believe that parking should always be free, that
Right.
that truck drivers are already parasitized enough by the government and brokers
Hmm.
and their customers holding them up and tickets from the DOT and the police, and there's just no money left over. Why would we also pay for parking?
Hmm.
So I'm just curious, like the people that do come through your location via their app, like who do they look like?
Well, we have a huge variety. Most, well, a lot of the local drivers, um, they're pretty much standard old school drivers. They love it and they appreciate it. Because one reason they like it, when they park their truck, usually at truck stops or city limits, stuff like that, they have to worry about someone's, I've heard drivers tell me stories about people cutting the straps or stealing the tools off, stealing the lug nuts off the truck, having issues with that, having, not being able to find a parking spot is just a basic. But even the truck getting damaged, you got new drivers that come in and they'll take off and take a fender off the front of the truck or take the bumper off. Out here they don't have to worry about any of that, and they appreciate it. Now we do have a lot of new drivers, and I do insist on parking them. Um, and you can tell the rookies. you know, I had one guy. He almost hit me 3 times in probably 5 minutes. And I got him back. And so yeah, I just definitely hopped in for him. But man, I don't know the nicest way to put it, but oof, yeah, some of the new drivers are not all. Some of them are pretty good, but yeah, I'm
Inexperienced.
very inexperienced. Yeah.
Yeah, that speaks to
Yeah.
something I write about and talk about online, is that they say there's this driver shortage, which is technically actually statistically not true, but what's happened is that there's this retention problem and churn. So they're always going through new people, always bringing new people in and spitting them
Right,
out. The average truck driver now spends what less than 1 year in the industry, and all the old
right,
school boys like myself or yourself, unless you're a diehard and you really like it and have it all worked out in your head, it's less
right,
likely that you're going to stick around. So the industry,
right,
or I should say, certain parts of the industry, keep
right.
bringing in
Certain
all
parts.
these new people.
Right, and I'll say it's mostly the only bad I've seen have been drive in. I guess because that's the most basic entry level driving. So you do run across a lot of people who are just doing it for something they think it's a quick money, I guess, because they have 1 day classes now in automatic. And so you'll get somebody who doesn't know a single thing about a truck and just decide, hey, let me go jump in this job real quick. And they'll go get a 1 day class and get a CDL, and now they're driving a truck. So, uh, as a driver, you and I both know it takes a lot longer than that to understand that truck. So, we run across some of that. And it's kind of that's it could be a different subject as well, but there's I run into some of those, yes, sir.
Right. So one of the things I had Mr. Shelley on my podcast to like talk about Truck Parking Club and sort of their business model and the issue of truck parking and other problems in the industry. And he has this phrase called parking anxiety, which
Hmm.
some truck stops are kind of tight and they get really full, and then they too get all these new guys that don't know what they're doing, and then they back into your hood and rip your mirrors off, and
You're
it's
right.
sort of chaotic. A number of my friends have had their trucks damaged at truck stops, but the solution or the peace of mind that's offered by this model you guys in your facility participate in is that there's less trucks around, and
Right.
it tends to like I'm not saying that like truck parking club discriminates, because anybody can download the app, anybody can use it, but because
Right.
people don't want to pay and a lot of people still sort of don't know about it, locations like yours offer a peace of mind because A, you guys sound like you're great hosts, and B,
Yes, sir.
it's less noisy. And C, I'm assuming that your guys' location, you don't have everybody packed in like sardines. There's lots of room to move.
Exactly. Matter of fact, I had one guy who came in. He was a Dollar General driver. He was one of the guys that didn't know anything about a truck, and he was terrified to back up. So there's actually enough space, and I told him just come in and go to the right. And I had him go around. He could make a circle and just face out. He didn't have to park close to anybody. There's plenty of space. It's a total of 6.6 acres inside of that fence. So we had plenty of space, and we never try to crowd them. So that way everybody has space. And if we get full, we will just stop the parking. But we try to make sure everybody has space to come in and comfortably park, even if you can't drive.
Yeah.
So
I imagine your guys' place is pretty quiet at night too. Like, how far out of Henderson are you?
we're 5 miles outside the city, so it's pretty quiet. We're actually directly across the street from a cemetery.
Super
Very quiet.
quiet.
Oh,
So it's as quiet as it can get.
yeah.
And
So I when I was a younger guy, when I was in my early 20s and late teens, I did a fair bit of hitchhiking to supplement, the adventures I didn't get when I was trucking, because I, like yourself, started driving when I was 18, got my CDL right away.
yes, sir.
And in the world of hitchhikers and sort of, crust punks and, various vagabonds and folks
Yeah.
living rough, this is not to
Yeah.
say that they're bad people. They just, they choose to live a certain way and maybe they don't have very much money.
Yeah.
um Cemeteries are one of the places they go to sleep because nobody's ever there and nobody bothers them and it's quiet.
Man. Well, luckily this cemetery is it's pretty well guarded. They keep someone that lives in the back and they pretty much watch over the property. And the sheriff department sits there.
Yeah,
Uh,
we have a great sheriff's
right.
department.
Yeah, our sheriff department is very good. They sit there day and night and usually never ever had an issue. Um, because they're pretty on point. And if there's anything, they jump right on it. But they usually sit right in that parking lot and kind of keep an eye out. And they don't bother our drivers at all. They know we're just working people, and it's pretty good area. Like I said, it's pretty quiet, and the most thing might hear is
We've got a real good relationship with our state troopers, so they don't bother our guys uh,
right. Yeah,
so
we know each
much.
other. It's being a small town. It's one of those everybody knows everybody type deals. So they don't really bother any of the drivers, and they come out and feel at home and relaxed, and they definitely feel safe. We let them. I tell them when they come in the gate, I say we got dogs, guns, and cameras, so you don't have to worry about anything. Yeah,
Excellent.
so
Yeah,
yeah, so
dogs, guns, camera, and good hospitality by the sounds of
there
it.
you go. There you go. So
Yeah.
So
they will protect it.
I'm not totally familiar with your guys' neck of the woods, as I said. Also curious about, so truckers, it's implied you're hauling something from point A to point B. That's the whole reason we do this. What are some industries or businesses nearby your location where truckers might be going? And do you get any of your truck parking club traffic from truckers coming or going out of those businesses and locations?
Well, Um, let's see. I'm gonna say we have a lot of fuel haulers that that load up out of Tyler, and they typically need somewhere to park. And I don't think there's too many spaces there, I guess, but we get fuel haulers out of Tyler, and we get pretty much all the Stevens Transport reefer units. So that's our main, I guess, our main clientele.
And then a lot of places don't let hazmat people park. And
Right.
we do, and then we're super cautious about, our drivers are real good. They'll tell us like, hey, I'm loaded with, rocket fuel today, so make sure
Yeah.
nobody is,
Yeah.
so we make sure like no one's smoking there, or we'll give you a specific spot to where you're away from anything that could cause a problem. We
Right.
don't need an explosion, so we make sure that the driver is in a place. And then Mike, like I said, he's he's been trucking, so he knows, somebody coming in heavy. We got certain spots for super heavy loads because in case it rains, we don't want you bogged down. So it's a whole lot of it looks simple, but it's a whole lot of measurements and science going on with how we're
So,
parking.
well, it's a
Yeah,
lot of
no,
hands-on. Yeah, definitely a lot of hands-on. I try to make sure every truck is in the right spot. So,
right. Yeah, no, it's funny. I hauled hazmats for a long time. I've hauled fuel, chemicals, propane, anhydrous ammonia, and
Yeah.
the fear around that stuff. Now, obviously, yeah, it's hazardous. If it gets out of the tank, it's going to be a problem. But like 99.9% of the time, there's usually never a problem if you follow all the
right.
procedures, loading and unloading, and you don't drive like a moron. You're never going to have an issue, right?
Exactly, right.
Right. So, no, but
Yeah.
good on you guys for thinking about it. So when you say you get super loads, like, do you guys do you get like real heavy haulers, like guys with Jeeps and Stingers and all the extra axles and whatnot?
We hadn't had it yet. We had a guy call actually last week that wanted to bring one, and he's supposed to be out today actually, and that would be our first heavy haul truck.
Right.
Um,
So do you have like a pull through or like a big enough spot you could like do a big old circle and get back out?
if he can come in, our it depends on if he's coming from the way it comes off the highway. He would have to come in from the north side coming out of Dallas. Coming from the south side, he definitely have to make a U-turn. Uh, coming in that gate. But once he gets in that gate, there's plenty of space.
Right, very good. You guys have thought of it all. You got heavy haulers, hazmat haulers, Thanksgiving dinner. Um, I had a quick look over your website. Apparently, you guys host conferences and weddings and a number of other events. Do you ever
Yes,
have
sir.
Yeah.
do you ever have musicians come through?
We do, and man, I actually used to play bass and drums myself in that little band, but we do have some little groups that every now and then come through and perform. Yes, sir.
Oh, very good. I got to get down there one of these days. Well, I'm writing this book, and I might be doing like a little tour to sort of sell it. So I'll probably go to a
Oh
bunch
yeah.
of different truck shows. I've been to the Mid America Truck Show in Kentucky a few times. I'm gonna have to go a little further afield next year. And if I find myself in Houston or Dallas, I'm gonna specifically make a detour and come check you guys out. Sounds like you've got quite a nice setup there, and you're running it with an eye towards the human element and looking after people and sort of conviviality and getting along.
Yeah,
Right. Yes,
definitely.
sir.
And you'll have to come. They have truck shows here. So you'll have to come to some of there's the Old Town Rig Down that happens here. I believe it's September. Really big show by Troy Massey.
Right.
Um,
And
and
dragging and pulling.
yeah,
Yeah,
there's
dragging and
Dragging and
pulling.
Pulling in the Pines, which is big rig drag racing.
Right.
It happens around here, so you get a lot of people there, and we've got some connections to a lot of show truckers that come when they come through, they like to stop. And so that's always nice. They come through and let the kids take pictures of the trucks. And Southern Transport is one that they'll bring their trucks out and let the kids take pictures, and they're all excited. So it's always something country and fun to do.
Yeah.
How often do your customers come through with kids with them in their trucks? Like, do they bring their do you see much of that at all?
I haven't had any bring kids yet. Just dogs. That's it.
Yeah, just
Right.
dogs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the questions I'm trying to explore is like, they say we have this driver turnover problem and nobody wants to go trucking. I think some of it is that like kids just aren't exposed to it in the same way because when I was growing up in the 1980s and 90s, it was nothing to like see other kids all the time at truck stops and out on the road and like especially in the
Hmm.
summertime, kids would go trucking with their dad all the time. Um,
Right.
Right.
I'll share a little
Well,
story.
oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, sir.
I was just gonna say, we loved trucks back then. It was definitely a big thing. You go in the store, you see little toy trucks everywhere, and it was just back then. I think trucks were just as hot the internet is today. It was always certain trucks you look out for, and I think now it's just a lot of the kids probably just at home on computers now, probably.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid. Um, so I grew up in Canada, fairly close to the border, probably 45-minute drive from Buffalo, New York. And there used to be this thing where US Customs wasn't open on Sundays. They wouldn't process commercial shipments at all on Sunday. And in order to be at the first in line, they guys used to take their trucks down, drop their trailers, because what customs would do was, if your trailer was in their impound yard, they would give you a ticket, and then like if you showed up Sunday night when they opened up again to start processing shipments coming into the United States, you would be, first in line. So some guys that lived close by the border would haul their trailers down on Saturday and then bobtail back home. So my dad used to do that sometimes, and he would bring me and all the neighborhood kids. So my dad's got this old Freightliner FLC with a bunk on it, and me and my sister and the neighbor kids, Sean and Brandy and Hank, and there'd be like 5 or 6 of us in the truck with Dad going down to Fort Erie to the border and then coming back.
That's
Hmm.
cool.
Man, yeah, that sounds like a good little fun deal back then.
Yeah,
One of
no.
the one of the things I did want to point out, we have a lot of female drivers that come through too. And I know just from talking to other female drivers and things, some of their concerns about, safety. Everybody's not a good guy. And so a lot of ladies worry, about their safety with that. So we do a lot of catering to make sure that these ladies feel safe and no one's harassing them, and that you have, restrooms that you can use safely. So at our facility, we open the building for the truckers so that they can go in and sit down and eat their lunch if they want. And then we've got the refrigerators in there, and then we've got restrooms and the shower and everything. So we offer all of that inside of the actual facility if they need it.
Oh
Right.
wow, you guys are basically like a truck stop.
It
Pretty
is
much.
kind of like a little home stop, is what we like to call it.
Oh, home
Yeah.
stop. That's great. That's great. We gotta use that more often, and encourage the proliferation of your guys' attitudes and efforts towards looking after your fellow truckers. This is amazing.
Right, appreciate
Thanks.
it.
Right. So, I've been, you've been very generous with your time. It's Saturday. Everybody wants to get out there and enjoy the day. Was there anything you wanted to let other truckers know, or the general audience, or anyone about more about Booker's Dude Ranch or trucking or whatever else is on your minds?
Well, tell you what, come on by and pay us a visit. I'm pretty sure you'll enjoy it and have a good experience. That's to any of the drivers out there, because like I say, it's kind of a home feel. If you're missing home, you've been on that road for a long time, this is definitely a spot to stop to.
Definitely, we always incorporate everybody in like family. So we've got a bunch of goats and stuff out there too, and
Yeah,
chickens and everything. So some people like to get out and just have a country moment. We got picnic tables and everything because it's kind of set up like a park.
right.
So you can, it may just be that you even live in town and you just want to come out there and get away. Cause like we said, we got the RVs out there that are fully furnished. We have a 40 footer and a 32 footer that's out there, and they're set up like houses. And then we've got a room inside of the facility that our truckers can use that's fully furnished and set up too. And sometimes, the road can be real hard on your psyche, and you just need a minute of peace and not hearing anything or doing anything. And so we are real big on not just your physical health, but your mental health out there, because it's a hard job and it's a stressful job. And as a nurse, I see so many people, especially drivers, when I get them in, they've been driving for 50 years and stuff like that. And just the emotional toll it takes on your physical body. And so we want to make sure that you're well as a person altogether, not just, get you a little sleep, but be well. So we want you to be happy and have some food and have some relaxation.
Right. No, that's awesome. Well, listen, Chastity and Michael, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for running Booker's Dude Ranch and being so generous to the trucking community with the services you provide and your attitude towards your sort of fellow working people.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, we forgot to let you
Sure.
know we do have people to come out to wash the trucks if you do need your truck washed.
Oh
Totally
man.
forgot about that.
Yeah.
That is one of the things we offer, and we have a tow company that works in case you got to get repairs. There's a light repair guy that's right next door. We've been working with him for
Right.
years. And then we do have a mobile repairman that can actually come onto the property if you got something that needs to be done.
Right. Yeah.
Full service. Well, you one last question.
Hmm.
Uh, y'all are a horse ranch. If a trucker comes by and has never ridden a horse before, will you show him?
Yeah, we actually do have my friend. She brings the horses to you, and she'll do a horse riding lesson if you need it. If you don't need a lesson, she'll just bring the horses out for you to just ride if you'd like.
Oh man,
Right.
I'm definitely coming down. I've never rode a horse before. Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. We can set it up for you.
All right. Well, hey guys, again, thank you so much for your time. Booker's Dude Rich. I'll include links to your guys' website and truck parking club and all that fun stuff in the show notes. And
Okay.
again, thank you so much. And I like to end each show by saying, "Way of the road."
Yeah,
There you
thank
go.
you.